Welcome back to the Xtool channel. This is week 2 of my comeback. I am filming again and I'm glad to make it another week. And this week I'm doing Christmas ornaments. How to take these ordinary Christmas balls and turn them into something personal and extraordinary. So if you're ready to come on that ride with me, stay tuned. Hey, I really hope you guys are enjoying my Batman transitions. I love those. Let me know in the comments if you are, and get ready for the intro as we get into Christmas balls. Okay, so today we're going to try to turn this little small tiny regular glass Christmas ball into what you saw in the intro. And if it all works out nice, I will make the intro and it will be well, because I will make the intro after I shoot this. But first we're going to start with a regular Christmas ball. This is a small one because this is the only glass, it has to be glass. And so the glass is painted on the outside. And what I did to this to start with is I filled it with white acrylic paint. I use Floetrol to get it to flow around. White acrylic paint by itself is very thick and very hard to get it to coat on the inside. I will show you the process of filling it as well, but it's filled with white acrylic paint, and then that red mirror paint is on the outside. And what we're going to do is we're going to etch it off the outside to reveal the white underneath. Now, I've already done this one, and if it's not done well, I have another chance to go in and do more white on the inside, but we'll see it as it reveals it through the etching there. But the real star of the show is my new laser that I bought. I bought a little tiny laser, and I want to introduce it to you right now. Okay, this is my very messy desk, but this is my new Xtool F1. This is a 2-in-1 laser, very small profile, as you can see. It is a 20-watt blue light laser and a 2-watt IR or infrared laser, which mimics like a fiber laser. I do not believe it's a true fiber laser, but it's a 20-watt infrared laser. This little thing is small, it's tiny, it can be picked up, carried. It's portable, and it is the thing I want to use to take to craft shows and actually do live custom laser engraving. So that's where my goal is to get to. It'd be a great thing for me to do on my weekends and, take shows without a lot of investments. But let me show you around the laser. It has this green protected, which protects your eyes from the laser, and it slides up. It's got like a 4.25 footprint, that's inches. And it's, if I can get underneath there, you can see it's a Galvo laser. So that's the lens underneath there. That means it doesn't use a gantry, that it uses the lens to actually focus the laser in different spots, which makes it very, very fast. So, and there's just a button on the side to start it. This video is not really to take you through the machine. It's just to show you what I am using here. This protective, this protective shield that you use here, I am going to leave it up during the engraving process because I will be using my laser safe glasses for it. So you can see on the video, you can see it laser live and in person. I'm going to use a jig right here where I will set my Christmas ornament in very carefully so it won't move and it sticks in place. But the first thing I need to do with this Christmas ornament is I'm going to get some talcum powder on it, and I will show you why in the next segment. Okay, so we're back. The Christmas ornament has some talcum powder on it, and you can see it there. First thing for the talcum powder, if you can see that blue, and there should be another red light that shows you right there. That is for focusing. That's for where the laser beams focus exactly. Now, you should have it exactly blue on top of red. You should make the red disappear. On these curved Christmas balls, what I've done is actually come off the blue just a little bit to compensate for the curve. Now, I put the talcum powder on there because you can see that blue light and you can focus it very well. But the one thing that this Xtool F1 does, it uses another eye-safe laser to do the framing. So I am going to click the framing, and you can do it in rectangle like I'm doing here. And so what that's going to do is show me this rectangle is where the laser is going to hit, and I can look at it and make sure I like the lineup of it. Now this lineup is looking pretty good to me, and now the talcum powder is actually letting me see that blue light very well. Since this ornament is very shiny and foiled, the talcum powder dulls it down so I can actually see that blue light laser from there. I'm not going to really get into the software. I'll take you over here to it. This is the Xtool software. I am doing a Liverpool for my friend so he can have a Liverpool Christmas ornament. So there is the graphic in the center there. The software is relatively simple and easy to use, but I'm not going to really go over the software, or maybe do that in a later video. I'm going to go straight to get this thing engraving. Now on this engraving that I'm doing, I am going to use the IR laser for this, the 2-watt IR laser, and I'm going to get it set up to get ready so you can see it laser. Okay, we're ready to laser. I've sent this to the laser. I put it at 100 power, 1200 speed. And if you have an F1, that probably will mean something to you. If you don't have an F1 and you're using a blue light laser, you can do this with a blue light laser as well. I don't really know if this works with a CO2, but like I said, I'm using the IR. I've got on my safety glasses and it's loaded into the file. And this is going to be a blazing 21-second etch. So 1, 2, 3, go. I don't think it has enough white in it, so I'm probably going to add more white to it to make it pop, but I'm going to go ahead and laser the other side, and then we'll go ahead and add the white to it. Okay, second side is ready to go. I'm going to hit the button. This should be super fast as well, and this is probably the coolest part of this thing. The way this thing lasers with the galvo is just awesome. A 1, a 2, a 3, and go. All right, so that was done very quickly. I should have mentioned I have my safety glasses on. I'm going to go ahead and pull that off the laser. So we have the one side there and the other side there. And we're going to go ahead and clean this up and see if it needs more white to go. And if it does, I'll show you how I add more white to it. Okay, so we're here for the paint filling, and full disclosure, I have filmed this already, came out beautiful, had it on the table, and my cat knocked it off and broke the whole glass and destroyed it. So I am refilming this part, and I think that's a good thing, and you can only be mad at your cat so long when your cat is cute as this. So much for the cat videos. So let me get you up to speed where I'm at now. So I did a ball that didn't have the paint fill in it already. And so this can show you exactly what it looks like when it's cut through with no paint fill at all. And I think this is the best way to do it. So this is really Providence. It really came out for a reason and goodwill, because you can see through the ornament all the way to the silver edge on the other side. My Liverpool logo is not the greatest, and I think it's my foul. It's like if you get really in there on the bird and at the bottom, it kind of blurs together. I really need to look at my foul, because usually this thing, this laser just is crisp and perfect and everything. So I think that's my foul issue. But now we're gonna take the part and we're gonna start filling in to get the white to make it pop. It could look good just like this, the way it is, but I think the white is going to make it pop so much more. So to do that, we use, don't let that roll off and break. We're gonna use white acrylic paint. Now, white acrylic paint by itself is way too thick once you get it, and you can't just pour it in there because it's just too thick. It won't flow around the ball to really give a good coating. So what I have tended to do is to use a flow medium. And so you could use like Floetrol. This one is an off-brand and cheaper. So it's acrylic flow medium. And we're gonna give that a good shake. Now, normally I start with the flow medium, and then I work up to a thickness that I can deal with. And then I use my pipette. And so when it starts filling in the pipette really nice, that's, you know, it's good. It's kind of, you get a feel for the consistency of it. So what I'm gonna do is just fill up the flow medium here, just about, not just about, just gonna fill it up to wherever I think. You know, it's not really any scientific thing to that. So, and then, so it's a good idea to take your flow medium, get a good pipette on your flow medium and see how it's flowing. It's very wet, very loose. You want it thicker than that. You want some good pigmentation into your flow medium. So I will pop it open and I will just start with that scientific pour of about that much in there. In other words, put in what you think is good and you'll probably be okay. I don't think it's gonna be, there's no really mix to it. Maybe somebody has a ratio mix that they can mix it to it that's very scientific. And if you find that, yeah, use that. Or you can just kind of go like I'm going, which is by feel. So you want to mix that in so it's all mixed in together. White is usually the most difficult to deal with because the flow medium is white and the pigment you're using is white. When you're doing other colors, you can kind of tell when it fully mixes in. With white, you just want to stir it a little bit longer so you can feel that it's going in. Now, I pulled that up in the pipette. As you can see, it's a lot thicker already. And it's having a hard time filling the pipette when you pull it up. So I'm looking at it pouring out and it has a hard time pouring out. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna do it just a tad bit more just cause I'm a freak. And just a tad bit more to get a little bit thicker. Mix that in there. Probably didn't need it, but I want to go with it as well because you want it to coat and have that pigmentation on it to the side so it can stick to the sides of the wall well. Because if it's just flow medium, it won't stick well to the sides of the wall. And there it is, and I'm gonna look at that and dripping that on camera. That's about as thick as I want it. So I am good with that. So there, what I'm going to do is actually get a good feel of the pipette. And then I'm gonna take my top off And what that pipette does, it's gonna allow me to stick the pipette and put the paint right on the design, right where I want it. So I'm kind of working off the side here to work with the camera. So if I go out of frame, I'm very sorry. But you can stick it right into there and then you can see it flowing right on top of the design. So I'm gonna do that on that part of the design. Fill up the pipette again. You can hear it kind of sucking up the paint into there, which is a good thing. And then I am going to flip it over. As you can see, that's right on the design there. And I'm gonna flow it right into the other part of the design. My key is, so I don't have to use a ton of paint, because I just want to cover my designs. You don't need to cover all the red because it's never going to show through. So then I'm going to just take a tissue there and I'm going to give it a little bit of a shake right across the design, and I'll flip it over, give it a little bit of shake on the other part of the design. And as you do this, you just want to start giving it a look to see if you got full coverage. And the key is to see if you're missing anywhere. Now, I'm gonna take it off screen to take a good look myself, and I think it's covered pretty decent all over there. I'm gonna shake it a little bit more on that side. Because I felt like it didn't get into some of those, the flame parts. Can we zoom in? Can you focus? Try to tap the screen here. Yes, focusing. But there, I think it's nice. And I think we've got a good coverage. Those tips, you always want to check the tips and your ends and make sure it's good. I'm gonna check this out again off screen because I don't have my glasses here. I'm gonna get my glasses on and take a good look at it. And then I'm gonna come back to you for the finish. Okay, we're at the end where I showcased the product, and it indeed came out really nice. Now I'm refilming this because I accidentally filmed it wrong, but I had a chance to look at it on the video, and I remember I was complaining a little bit about this graphic, but actuality, if you can get in there, that graphic actually came out perfect. The only problem I see is that it's off kilter a little bit to me, just a tad bit this way. Perfect on this side, but just a tad bit this way. Still perfect for a gift, but what I would do is work on my jig a little bit so that I make sure that before I ever did these at craft shows, the jig was perfect and locks it in place using the exact size ball for every time. That would be important because the jig I was using actually was made for a bigger Christmas ball. I would make it to the size I was using at the craft show. So at a craft show, if you were doing these live, you want to be able to place them, pop right in, laser, and go, and make sure that they hit perfect every time. I think these would be great at craft shows, at a Christmas show. Unfortunately, I won't make it this year with these, but to be able to do these live at a show and then do the paint part, which makes it pop and come out really nice. Make sure not to have a messy thing with the paint. Get a little process down so it's not so messy, which is not a messy process anyway, but this would keep your craft booth buzzing. I mean, really buzzing. I'm really gonna try to perfect this and other things that do custom that you can drop right in. And when I get to that point where I'm doing them on the craft shows, I really want to bring you guys along for that ride because I think this one would be great. Thanks so much for joining me. If you got any questions or just want to say hi or just say, hey, I like the way the new beard is coming in, we'll see if we'll keep it, please hit me in the comments and I'll see you next time.